Today, I want to introduce you to a brand new Solana Microcap. And why Microcap? Because the time for lower risk plays is now starting to move behind us. The time for higher risk plays is approaching. And the reason I say that is that we've just seen Bitcoin clock a new all-time high of $73,700. And that's before the Bitcoin halving, something unprecedented. It could mean that we're having a left translated cycle, which basically, long story short, means that we could see a peak in Bitcoin's price before the midpoint of the cycle, which has never happened before. And if that's the case, then that means we have less time to get into altcoin positions. So we're moving into the time where lower risk plays you should all be positioned in those lower risk plays ready. Now is the time to double down on the higher risk plays. And I have a potential gem within the Solana ecosystem. But remember, microcaps like this carry so much more risk than all of the others. So the aim with these high risk plays is to try and limit that risk as much as possible. And one of the best ways to do that is to try and focus on either narratives that are popular, or you focus on the ecosystems that are becoming popular in the ecosystem. And if there's one ecosystem right now that is doing better than all others, it is Solana. So because of that, I want to introduce you today to a microcap that hasn't yet felt the full force of a true crypto bull market. And if its ties to Solana weren't enough to encourage you, this microcap is focused on liquid staking and DeFi, a niche that I have always loved ever since I set up this community. I think it's got a lot of potential, and we've got brilliant comparables within other ecosystems such as Ethereum with the likes of Lido Finance. So it makes it easy to compare and see where the likes of a liquid staking protocol might go in the future. And the protocol that I want to dive into today is called Marinade Finance. So what are we working with here? Well, Marinade Finance is a liquid staking derivatives protocol for Solana. So liquid staking allows investors to stake their SOL coins in this case. So stake their SOL coins in the Solana blockchain without having the limitations that the normal process of staking would have. So for example, you would stake SOL and there would be a lockup period with that SOL. You wouldn't be able to access that SOL immediately. You also wouldn't be able to leverage that SOL, the capital that's locked in those SOL coins, within other DeFi applications. So the idea behind liquid staking is that it amplifies your capital. So you can still get the rewards from staking within a blockchain, but still use the capital if you wish to within DeFi applications. So Marinade Finance is a liquid staking protocol for the Solana ecosystem, and its equivalent on the Ethereum ecosystem would be Lido Finance. Now, as we can see here on the website, it has currently a total value locked worth 1.75 billion. And this actually makes it the largest liquid staking protocol in the Solana ecosystem. But not only that, it is also one of the largest protocols, full stop. So out of all of the applications that are built in the Solana ecosystem, Marinade Finance is one of the largest, which makes it so interesting that it's still a microcap altcoin. So we can see here that thousands of investors are already taking advantage of Marinade Finance to amplify their capital that would otherwise be locked within the Solana blockchain. So SOL, instead of staking it directly in the Solana blockchain, Marinade Finance allows SOL holders to earn that APY while leveraging that capital elsewhere if they want to. So how does this protocol actually work? So when SOL is deposited into Marinade Finance, the native token of the platform, which is MSOL, is minted. So you deposit one Solana coin, you get one MSOL coin, it's minted. The MSOL coin then accrues all of the staking rewards, and it's the MSOL coin that can then be used within other DeFi applications if you wish to. So eventually then, when a user wants to withdraw their original Solana coins, MSOL can then be converted, burned effectively, and you withdraw your original Solana plus all of your additional rewards that you've banked because you've been staking. And ultimately, the idea here behind Marinade Finance and the vision of Marinade Finance is that it wants to become, or it wants MSOL, their native Solana-backed coin, to become the base for the entire DeFi ecosystem built within Solana. And you can also see on this graphic that it lets you, so this process allows you to then use your MSOL coins to farm tokens, add liquidity, and also trade, lend, borrow, or use your MSOL as collateral. Now, Marinade was founded through Solana ecosystem grants at a Solana hackathon back in 2021. So it's not the oldest project, but it's also not the youngest. And then the native token of the Marinade Finance Protocol, MNDE, which you can see on the screen here, that was minted in October of the same year. So mainnet was launched in August, release of the native token in October of 2021. And we can see here that it has a total supply of 1 billion coins. Circulating supply we'll get onto in a moment, but it has been in action since October of 2021. So if we think back to the previous bull market, peaked in November of 2021, it really only saw 1 month of bull market action, and then the remainder of its time in existence, it has only seen bear market. Now, what is MND's utility? What is this native token? Because this is the token that you would want to hold if you want to gain exposure to Marinade Finance and you believe that the protocol is going to expand in the future. What utility does MNDE offer? And the main utility in their ecosystem is for governance. It is a governance token, first and foremost. So this means that MND holders control the direction of the Marinade Finance platform. And that includes what validators they choose to use in order to obtain those staking rewards and how rewards are distributed. Now, in terms of its tokenomics, we can see here that its current market cap stands at $79 million. So it is firmly in the microcap category of altcoins. We've already mentioned previously that it has a 1 billion maximum supply, and only 25% of those are currently in circulation, so approximately 257 million. And if we quickly look at price action, we can see that after it was launched, we have seen pretty much sideways price action, apart from a couple of spikes in and around November of 2022 and April of 2022. It's been sideways price action until October of 2023, where the price of MNDE has started to climb. And that correlates quite closely with the upturn in activity on the Solana ecosystem. The Solana coin itself has boomed massively over the last 5 or so months, and MNDE appears to be correlated with that quite closely. And then quickly, if we just scroll down, we can see which exchanges it is listed on. So it's listed on Coinbase, which is normally a very, very good sign, because in order for coins to get onto Coinbase, that's probably one of the last exchanges for coins to climb onto. But then interestingly, there aren't that many other centralized exchanges on here. We've got Gate.io, KuCoin, and then the remaining exchanges are all, or the majority are decentralized exchanges in the Solana ecosystem. So the likes of Radium, Orca. And so we come to the part of the video where I want to talk you through some of the upsides for the MNDE coin. Where could this go? What are the reasons that could drive demand for this in the future? And the first thing that I want to talk about here is its relationship to the Solana ecosystem. So we are here on DeFi Llama, and we've got the Solana TVL chart in front of us here. Hopefully you can see that just above me. Yes, you can. So we can see TVL reached a peak for Solana back in November of 2021 at approximately 9.7 billion. And then since then, we've had the bear market. It is gone, flatlined at 246 million. And then we've started to see TVL in the Solana ecosystem tick upwards. And then if we scroll down a little bit further, you will see in number one, Marinade, with that $1.75 billion worth of total value locked. Then if we click on the Marinade protocol itself, and we'll take a look at its TVL and its activity through time, we can see that as soon as it launched, its mainnet was launched in August of 2021. Remember, we had a big peak up, got to 1.79 billion approximately. We saw the bear market. It's got on the FTX collapse here. Flatlined all the way through to October. And then we've seen a massive uptick, and we've actually had just a new all-time high in TVL of about $1.88 billion. And the main point to make here is that Marinade is the leading liquid staking protocol in the Solana ecosystem. So if it can maintain its dominant position, the total value locked in the protocol and demand for the MND token could grow as the adoption of Solana grows. So if it can just hold that dominant position as the Solana ecosystem grows, or should we say if the Solana ecosystem grows, the demand for Marinade and therefore the demand for the MNDE token should grow alongside it. The second factor to the upside is that this is a token that hasn't yet experienced the full force of a bull market. Now, that's not to say that it's a new and shiny altcoin that was launched only 6 months ago, such as some of the ones that we've seen up and coming recently. But this is still a token that has not experienced the bull market. So it hasn't had the hype of a bull market push it into the stratosphere that we saw some altcoins achieve back in 2021. Another thing that I want to mention is that the Marinade treasury holds the bulk of MNDE tokens. So while future dilution is high, only 25.7% of tokens are in circulating supply. So there is a lot of future dilution to come, but shock token unlocks from the likes of VCs or early investors shouldn't be a problem for this protocol because the majority of those coins are locked within Marinade's treasury, which is good. And then finally, comparing MNDE to a comparable liquid staking token such as LDO from the Lido Finance protocol on the Ethereum blockchain, the price of MNDE could, in comparison to Lido's price right now, it could 27x. If it got to the equivalent all-time high value of Lido, it could be 42x. It could result in a 42x in price from where MNDE is right now. So if it accumulated a similar market cap standing, those are the kind of prices that we could see. And we can see that at the moment we're on 30 cents if it acquired, not even the all-time high value, but if it was just acquired the market cap that Lido Finance has right now, it could get up to $8.28, which is a huge 27x. Who wouldn't be happy with a 27x? And now we come to the risks of MNDE. Every single altcoin has risks, and we need to take those into account. Nothing is smooth sailing. And one of my main questions that I have for this is, will liquid staking be as popular on Solana as it was on Ethereum? Ethereum liquid staking was really popular because you, for a long time, couldn't withdraw ETH coins from the Ethereum blockchain. This was ahead of the merge that happened with Ethereum. And some of those difficulties have obviously been erased with Ethereum, and Lido Finance continues to do well. But a lot of the difficulties that investors had on the Ethereum blockchain don't exist within the Solana ecosystem. So the uptake of liquid staking protocols might not be as high. And then another key risk for me is the competitors to Marinade Finance, because it doesn't stand alone in the Solana ecosystem. We have just behind it in the list, we have Jito, which is another liquid staking protocol. A bit lower down, we have Blaze Stake, another liquid staking protocol. I believe there's one more, JPool, further down. JPool's got 56 million TVL, Blaze Stake 4 to 5 million, Jito 1.52. So that is catching up to Marinade Finance extremely quickly. And the other thing about Jito is that they are a new validator client for the Solana ecosystem. There's a big launch a couple of months ago. So that also has that element backing Jito. So there is a risk that Marinade might lose its dominant position. It's had early mover advantages so far, but if Jito catches up and rises above, it means that there may not be as much of a demand for Marinade Finance and therefore the MNDE token. Finally, the only utility of the MND token is at the moment governance. That's mainly it. And while that can be enough for many platforms, it would be good if we saw the MND token incorporated into another feature on the Marinade Finance platform to help drive that demand higher. So to conclude, if you were looking to gain exposure to Marinade Finance, MNDE would be the token that you would choose to do that through. And an investment into MNDE plays on two main factors: the success of the Solana ecosystem being the first, and the adoption of liquid staking being the second. The bullish momentum that we've seen on the Solana blockchain has been clear to see. The Sol coin is now only 50% away from its previous all-time highs, which at this early stage in the bull market cycle is so crazy to see. But with the addition of the likes of Fire Dancer, Solana is a completely new beast in comparison to where it was back in 2021. And that has earned it a lot of respect. And then likewise, I have always liked liquid staking derivatives platforms. They make a lot of sense to me. As an investor, if you could stake your coins, get an APY, and also leverage that capital elsewhere to gain even more APY, why wouldn't you do that? It just means that you can amplify capital. So it makes it exceptionally attractive in the DeFi ecosystem, a market that is yet to boom again. We're seeing TVL in the DeFi ecosystem tick up, but it is nowhere near back to the levels that it was in 2021. And then finally, with a current market cap of $79 million, a pretty good looking price chart at the moment, and a lot of clear skies potentially ahead, it wouldn't surprise me to see the MNDE token much higher if Solana continues to grow. That is it from me for this walkthrough. If you want detailed insights on a weekly basis, 1 email per week, I would love to have you as a subscriber to my weekly 80/20 crypto newsletter. The newsletter is 80/20 because we focus on the 20% of crypto that yields 80% of the returns. There's a lot of bad altcoin projects out there, and it's up to us as investors to whittle through those and find the 20% that are going to yield those 80% of returns. The other aspect of that is that you need to do it safely. Crypto is so risky. This is not a get-rich-quick market. You need to play it so smart. So if you don't have the time to dedicate and you want a helping hand on a weekly basis, the 80/20 crypto newsletter is where to head to, and I'll leave a link to that down below. All that I ask for in return is that if you enjoy the video, hit the like button down below and subscribe to the channel to enjoy more content like this. Thanks so much for watching, and I'll see you in the next video.